Hello everyone, and welcome to this series on how to draw iconic transport. Before we start, of course, if you could subscribe, that would be terrific. And of course, ring that little bell icon if you want to know what's coming up next. Okay, so the first piece of transport, or first object I'm going to draw today is a Viking Longship. And I'm going to start off with the mast. So basically what you do is just draw an upright line like this, and getting slightly broader as you go down to the bottom. About that length there. Okay, and then across the way you draw this horizontal line coming across like that. Okay, but if you look at the length of that, length of a pencil, that line there is just a little bit longer than the pencil on either side there, and as it gets to that length there, it curves up. And we're going to have the Viking ship going that way, so the kind of carved head is here. So we get this nice curve sweeping up and round to a dragon's head. Come down to there. Now the mouth open like that, and curving out, and getting a bit wider here as it curves back down to, well, what would be the waves coming along here. So you can draw the wave shapes coming in like that. The little curves and spikes going up. Okay, and at the back here, if you think of it as like a sea serpent that's coming along here, and then the back curves up, and you would get a kind of tail shape curling around like that. Okay, and then sloping out quite wide and then back in again quickly like that. So there's your basic shape of the Viking Longship. And of course along this part here you have a row of shields. So if you could start by putting in little circular shapes like this right along, like that. Okay, and also let's go back up here again, and you get a line coming from here, coming out, and curving down, leave a kind of space coming down like that to join there. Okay, and we could add some detail on the dragon's head here, an eye and a kind of triangular nose shape, and then you could do these kind of spiky fin type shapes coming down like that. Okay, you could also add a bit of decoration within the head by doing perhaps something like that. Okay, now each of the shields has a boss in the center, so you would draw a little circle in the middle of each one, and of course the pattern on the shields are all different. We're going to have fun doing them in a second. Okay, now I'm going to carry on with this line here and draw in the planks of wood which come across. Clinker built as it's called, comes up in a curve like that and joins to there. Okay, and the other lines will start from about here, coming along like that, going up to a point there. Another one's coming in about here, and as you go towards the bottom of the boat, try and make these lines closer together, narrow, because you imagine the curve of the boat going underneath like that. You'll see less of it, so that'll be a slightly thinner line there. Again, there too, as it heads down towards the sea, all closer together like that. Okay, and now the sail. I can imagine that tied with kind of slip knots up here, and the actual cross piece coming across like that, attached there. Oops, made that a bit broader when I'm inking it in. And of course the sail, imagine it billowing out and attached down here and coming up behind the mast. Nice curve coming up and joining about there. Okay, and then this part of the mast coming out, the sail rather, coming out from about here, and kind of doubling back in itself. So you get that curve there, and this part of the sail coming in like that. Imagine that curving round and appearing back in there like that. Okay, and of course you have the ropes which are being attached to the boat, and coming down here. One from up here to hold the mast. Another one coming down another side here. Like that, okay. And another one from this part of the spar coming across to about here. Okay, and the actual sail itself would have some kind of pattern on it, but the simplest one is to draw stripes. So if you just follow your line, that curved line there, follow it coming around like that, then double it up, try and keep them parallel. Okay, another one coming in here. Don't have to do too many. And there. Like that, another one coming in here. And one here, following that outside curve. And then coming round here, the base stripes back and front, so we have the curve coming in, following that line, and one just appearing about there. Okay, okay, I have a pen now, so I'll just start inking in, starting carefully at the top here, coming down to the side of the mast. Like that, and then one down the other side. Remember to get a bit wide as you come down there, and then you can put these. There's a general kind of few shapes like that to suggest the ropes that are up there. Okay, and then you get this line coming across here now. Like that, and then double that up. Okay, now I'm now going to continue to just ink in the rest of that. So I'll catch you when I've done it, okay? Okay, I've inked in most of it. I'm just finishing off now. These bottom lines. And this one coming in here. I'll put the C shape in first of all, actually. You just draw little wiggly lines, you know, slightly scalloped. Give the impression of the sea. And one more line coming in, just breaking the waves there, kind of thing. Okay, appearing, come in like that. Okay, so let's move on to the shield now and put some pattern on them. Okay, I'm going to start with this one here, and a very common pattern is to have another line around the outside like that, and then divided quite simply like that. Okay, another way you can do it is by putting a line down the center one, and then using a kind of cross pattern like that. Okay, and you can do more of that by, for instance, making the cross have another cross like that. All right, this one here will be another curve there, and make a cross going at an angle like that. Okay. And this one here, another shape they used was the cross, but with a slight curve to it, so you get that shape there. Okay. And one there, like that. Okay. And then you can make it a little bit more wiggly by doing something like this, almost like a flame shape. like that. You could add a little bit of pattern at the outside edge. You could make up your own pattern, although these are kind of basically what was used back in the Viking days. Okay, perhaps we could also have something like more zigzags coming in there now, like that. And another kind of shape they used was the arrowhead shape, which you could use like that. And then quite a simple one, back to the cross shape again. Okay, so I'm going to get a slightly thicker pen now and ink in some of these black shapes to make it a bit more dramatic, okay, a bit more graphic looking. Right, I'll start with the stripes on the sails, and the best way to do that, by the way, is just to shade down or to draw a thicker line down one side, like that, and then go down the other side and fill in the middle. Like that. Okay. Just finishing off the stripes now. Drawing down the side and then filling in the middle. Like that, okay. Right, I'm going to move down to these ones here, but I need a slightly finer pen for that. And let's have a look at this one here. Okay, let's start over here. And I think what I'll do is just shade in these parts here and leave the cross and the outside circle white. A nice shape. The same with this, I think we'll do the background, leave the arrowheads white. Like that. And this one here, probably the triangular shapes. And this one, perhaps do the opposite this time, do the actual shapes themselves, make them black. The little triangular shapes in here. Same with this one, now I'll do the curves. Almost like a fan shape, you know. That one there. And in this one, I think again, just the triangular shapes leaving the cross white. And this one here, the same thing. Little triangular shapes leaving the cross white. And this one here, again, leaving the cross white. And in this one side black, and the opposite side black. Okay. Okay, we're just finishing off cleaning up the drawing of the pencil lines. And one thing I forgot actually, which was the steering paddle, which is a long oar-like kind of thing which comes down the side of the ship. So it would stick up like this on this side, and down, and come down and swell out to a broader paddle, and then appear down there like that. Okay, well that's the Viking Longship drawn for you. Hope you enjoyed that, and hope you join me again for another iconic transport. Okay, in the meantime, of course, all the best and happy drawing.